Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about why children of narcissistic families, why the scapegoat child of narcissistic families can then attract a narcissistic partner and often end up becoming isolated from their narcissistic family, because usually not every family member is narcissistic, and end up being isolated with a narcissistic partner. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. So when it comes to being born into a narcissistic family, there will more often than not, if there is more than one child, be a golden child and be a scapegoat child and a forgotten child. The golden child is usually the child who will conform to their parents' demands, who has something that the parent finds admirable within that child. So they shower that child with time, attention, affection and support. And that child often doesn't see the true capabilities of their family because they are being supported throughout their life. The scapegoat child is often the child who is perceived to not have anything to offer to the family or to the parents that the parents find desirable, because narcissists are all about creating that ideal. They are preoccupied with their ideal. So if they don't get the child they wanted, they're not going to be happy with the child they get. Narcissistic parents don't raise children for who they are. They raise children for who they want that child to be. And if that child goes against the norms of what that family wants that child to be, that child becomes the scapegoat who gets accused of all the wrongdoing, who all the blame is laid on that child's door, so that the narcissistic family can escape any form of consequences for their actions. They can escape exposure for their actions by blaming the scapegoat child. When it comes to being a scapegoat child or a golden child, more often than not, both are trained to receive conditional love. Both are unconsciously trained to receive conditional love. The golden child learns to perform to get that love, so it's harder for them to recognise the difference. The scapegoat child often learns a lot quicker that they have to please others in order to feel accepted, in order to gain that support, in order to get that attention. They can often feel bullied and they can often feel intimidated, and they can often end up being very anti-bullying. However, when they speak out, everything they say, the family will twist and turn and use against the scapegoat. They can often become people pleasers. Scapegoats often become rescuers because they're looking to rescue themselves from a family. They're looking to rescue other people because they feel like it would be selfish to rescue themselves. So they look to rescue other people. When it comes to a narcissist, someone who is a people pleaser, someone who is trained into that conditional love, somebody who wants to rescue other people, is an ideal mate for them, because they can come on strong with all the pity plays to get the person, to get the scapegoat to rescue them, not realising that by rescuing a narcissist, they're often isolating themselves from others. And a narcissist will get to know all about who you are as a person. Those conversations in the beginning, they will be paying close attention to who you are. They will be paying close attention to all your painful moments in life, because we've all lived through some form of pain, so that they can use these painful moments against you to exploit you by either claiming they've been through similar, so you become their rescuer, or claiming they wouldn't do anything like that to you, so you feel like they are rescuing you. They can also pay you more attention than anybody ever has, and with those deep conversations you can feel more connected to them than you've ever felt connected to anyone in your life. So you are led to believe that this person has your back. Narcissistic families aren't looking for someone to come and take you away from them, because they fear exposure. They don't want another, whether they know they're narcissistic and it's another narcissist or not is a whole other video, but they don't want another narcissist to step on their toes. They don't want another narcissist to come and take you away from the dynamics of that family unit. They don't want another narcissist to learn what goes on within that family that could potentially expose that family for who they are. They don't want you to abandon that family. They take abandonment as criticism. So they're going to go all out to make the relationship as difficult as possible, which usually drives people more towards the narcissist, not realizing they're being driven out from one narcissistic family straight into another. As a scapegoat is usually more strong-willed, they're usually more willing to want to live life on their terms. And as they believe they're rescuing their new partner, they can turn it against their family and turn towards the narcissistic partner, which the narcissistic family will use to their advantage. They will start scapegoating the scapegoat to other family members and to friends. They will claim things like, after all they've done for the scapegoat is just spoiled. The scapegoat is a hypocrite. The scapegoat feels entitled. The scapegoat is unappreciative. The scapegoat was too privileged. They will use all they can to attack the scapegoat. They will get other people in the smear campaign to question the scapegoat's motives, to question the scapegoat's character, to pin the blame on the scapegoat and accept no responsibility for their own behaviour, to confuse people, to distract people. And anything the scapegoat does to try and step away from that family will be twisted and will be turned to use against the scapegoat to help within the narcissistic family's smear campaign, to help the narcissistic family gain enablers and gain flying monkeys. So the scapegoat feels like they haven't got anyone to turn to. And even those family members that aren't narcissistic, either they don't see it because they're the golden person that's been treated so well, or they fear speaking up because they can see what's happening to the scapegoat. The scapegoat is then often left isolated with the narcissistic partner, who is also going to twist and turn every single story they can to suit themselves, to paint the narcissistic family out as bad people, while the narcissistic family is painting the scapegoat and their new partner out to be the bad people within the dynamics. And it's the scapegoat that often ends up being caught in the middle, as they're trying to please everybody, as they're trying to help everybody out, as they're trying to rationalize, as they're trying to rescue everybody, as they're trying to help everybody out. They can feel intimidated, they can feel bullied, they can become full of anxiety, or the stress can cause so many health conditions that they become trapped within the relationship they are in. It can cause depression. Narcissistic abuse has so many effects, not only on your mental health, also your physical health. Often why many people that are advocates of mental health have suffered some form of mental health issues during their life because they know how it feels and they want to rescue other people. However, we can only rescue ourselves. This is what we need to understand. It's okay having supportive people who will help you through. However, we have to filter information. We have to give ourselves the meaning that drives us forward. We have to work on our own perspectives. We have to work on our own opinion, and we have to be the ones to help ourselves. Nobody is going to do it for us. Not on a long-term basis. Yes, you can potentially have somebody cook a meal for you, but at some point you have got to give something back in return, because when you don't give something back in return, at some point that person is going to have enough. You have got to motivate yourself to get out of bed in the morning. There is nobody there getting you out of bed. You have to motivate yourself to get dressed. You are no longer that baby that's incapable of getting dressed for yourself, that needs somebody to get you dressed. You are now a grown adult that has to get yourself dressed, get yourself motivated, and get yourself going. When it comes to being stuck in between a narcissistic family and a narcissistic partner, sometimes you do have to walk alone in life, because walking alone in life is better than being around people who make you feel lonely, who drain everything from you, who bring you down, who gaslight you, who scapegoat you, who confuse you, who use who you are as a person against you so that they can further their advantage of you. And being a scapegoat, because you usually are strong-willed, scapegoats usually are strong-willed, once they do motivate themselves to make the choice to walk alone and to move past their past, they will usually find a way to do this. And once they step into that unknown and start doing it, is when they usually pick up the momentum to keep doing it, so that they can learn their personal values, learn their personal beliefs, learn their personal boundaries, start saying no to people so that they're no longer around narcissistic people on a long-term basis, and start walking with people who have similar perspectives of them, who have loyalty, who have respect, who have genuine empathy. It's not easy breaking away from a narcissistic family with all the smear campaigns and threats of taking inheritance off you, and it's not easy walking away from a narcissistic partner with the threats of you've got nothing left, you'll never see the children again. However, there is always a safe way to do so. It's just finding the way that works for you, because by staying in a situation where you have both people battling, they're looking for the conflict, they're looking for the drama, they're looking for the chaos, and they are using you in the middle as a pawn in those games. And when all else fails, they are both going to use you as the scapegoat so they can escape any form of consequences for their actions. There is many scapegoats that are left in this situation. There is many scapegoats that are left with this dilemma. There is many scapegoats that choose to walk life alone because that's where they find their peace. That's where they find their happiness. There is plenty of people that do not want to be single and that want to be in a relationship. And that is on them. There's plenty of people that do want to be single and don't want to be in a relationship. That is also on them. It's about your personal preferences, your personal life choices. What would you like out of life? One of the first things to get to what you would like out of your life is making those tough decisions to step away from toxic people, to no longer play toxic people's games, so that you can find your peace and so that you can find people who are like-minded to you. It's all well and good being a people pleaser. It's all well and good being a rescuer. However, it's got to be with the right people, because the wrong people will exploit that within you. It's all very good having a forgiving nature, but sometimes we have to forgive people and walk away from people. Otherwise, they will exploit that forgiveness within you. And many people don't want to forgive. And if they can let go of the anger and resentment and move on without forgiving, then that's how they move on. It's individual preferences, individual choices. It's finding what works for you. I shall add in the description the video on the scapegoat and the golden people within a narcissist's life. I shall add the video on flying monkeys and the video on enablers, the video on why narcissistic people isolate you. If anyone has any advice, please do add it into the comments. Thank you very much for listening. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.